All right, let's talk transitions. How do we get from parallel planes into 3D planes? Well, usually it's with bends or breaks, and there's a bunch of different bends and a bunch of different breaks. And so we're going to keep this simple, and we're just going to use the pendulum to get our 0 point, right? So from the pendulum, at a 0 point on either side, we can go into horizontal in both directions. And we can also do an anti-spin in both directions. And we have all of those variables available to both hands. So we'll start this with a couple drills. They're going to be pendulum drills, but they'll eventually become breaks. So let's do together pendulums. Do the big ones. These ones will get you into your flowers. You also want to drill, you can drill all of these with turns just to get familiar with them. It's good to know all of this. And then your little shorty pendulums. Got one on that side, got one on this side. It's essentially the same thing. You just are facing a different direction. So there's all of those ones. And then we can take one and, like a break, when it gets to this point isolate it. It's like a break that cancels itself out. It's weird. But when the poi head is floating, move your hand over. This is your new center of rotation. The new pendulum will be out here. When it floats there again, same idea. Whoop. And now your pendulum's here. So you can do that with this guy. And now you're in your split pendulums. So same thing, practice with turns. Practice the shorties. And then the same idea as that point isolation, this guy, you can change your plane into quarter. So you can have a pendulum, one that's in the wall and one that's in the wheel. And you want to do it, it'll feel like same time, but you want to do it in same time. You can do a split time version of it where one's in while one's out. And that's good to know. You want to drill that. But for this flower that we're going to be, the anti-spin flower we're going to be breaking into, you want them both to be outside and inside at the same time. So those are your pendulum drills. And let's just make this fun. While the quarter's here, while they're floating on the inside, you can plane bend, plane bend. So just explore it, do the basic drills and then explore it. See what you can come up with. There's a lot of really cool kind of visual patterns that come out of that just in 2D. Like I love this. For some reason, the look of this is really great to me. Just pendulum, anti-spin, back into that pendulum. You can go over the top too. I just love that. I don't know why. But from drilling this, you get access to that. And then we can use those moments to break into horizontal, right? Horizontal, horizontal. Or we could break one into horizontal and one into vertical, get our flowers. So let's start with split, because this will turn into a split L. We have 4, we're going to be breaking into anti-spins. And since we have 4 versions of our forward atoms, right? Our 4 atoms, we'll have 4 anti-spins. So how do we get them? Well, we have 2 directions. This right hand can go in horizontal, while the other hand is going in 2 directions, like my left is in vertical, and vice versa. So let's just kind of run them. Right hand will spin, anti-spin in horizontal, moving forward. Left hand will do a vertical going up first, right? Like this. Then I can do the same horizontal, but have my anti-spin go down, like that. Then my turn will have to be in the other direction, because my horizontal anti-spin will be in the other direction. Bam, like that. And then again, I'll turn in that direction, but my left hand will move down instead of up. All those again, this time with the right hand being horizontal. You get the point. I don't know. I just got confused on the ones I was demonstrating. Then you can do the same thing with our together, right? Because there's our together point. That point occurs in the anti-spin, so we can use that point to transition. Wing, 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 wing. I can get all of my 4 versions of this anti-spin also from this hand, you know, from this pendulum. If we just apply that same concept to our quarters, then we get all of the same flowers that way. Once we're into the anti-spin, stalling, you can practice both directions. If you do that, be real conscientious because it can get confusing when you're drilling. I've neglected to drill things because of that. I was just falling into habit, demonstrating that quarter one. So another way we can do it, that was all anti-spin, right? Because in the anti-spin, they move through these points on the outside. With the in-spin, the transition moment happens on the inside. So let's say here, 2-petal in-spin. They're meeting in the middle there, and there, and there. I mean, my hands are not together, so they're not technically right together, but we'll bring them in, right? So, boom, like that. I can stall by bringing them in so they're super close together. Well, we've been practicing all these drills. We know that from that inside moment, right here, we can basically go anywhere. Out in quarter, out together, out split. And instead of just pendulating, what if we add a pedal? Well, we just got access to all of our in-spin flowers. So here we are. This would be anti-spin when they reach here. You know, so here would be in-spin. This one, my right hand's going horizontal. My left will go vertical over the top. My right hand's going horizontal. Left will go vertical under the bottom. Right hand's going horizontal in the other direction. Left hand's going on the top. And then right hand's going horizontal the other direction. Left going under the bottom. And then, again, all of those things in the other direction. All of the versions, and same here, right? 4-petal. Oops. And we can do 2-petal. 4-petal. 2-petal. Back to my pendulum. Let's check out these quarters. I can do, let's say, left will be horizontal. Well, yeah, I'm demonstrating them to the camera on a different plane that way. So we'll go back into this one. Now my left, oh God, my right will be horizontal so that it shows to the camera. I don't know. That's a lot. Let's just summarize it real quick. In a moment here, when the poi heads are both on the outside, they share a moment with any of the split L atoms and can be used, that moment can be used to break in to any split L atom. Just like this moment where they're both over here or here can be used to break into any together L anti-spin atom. And similarly, when your pendulums are here at an L in quarter, this can be used to break into any quarter time anti-spin atom. Ultimately, all of them come back to this position here, and this is your in-spin moment, right? You have access to all of them pretty much from here. And it doesn't have to come from, you can do weird shit. So they're both at this moment. I can whip my hand over and then go horizontal. So you end up with like your in-spin, same, together time in-spin. You have to do a quick point isolation over the top though. But the idea being, if they're here, you can make it happen. There could be any in-spin you want. So that's another one of those things where it's overwhelming. Practice the ones that you use from that point. You know, figure out which in-spin atoms you like, and then practice the ones you like already, and go in to that moment, and then practice going from that moment back out. And you'll discover there's some that you'll encounter a lot in your personal style, and then there's some that you might not ever use just because there's other things that work better for you. But we're going to stay on this topic just a little bit more because we've been talking about this horizontal. We're breaking into the horizontal. There are other two common stall points. The easiest, down, because if you just let it dangle, it's a permanent 0 point. And the other one is the up stall. You could go into a horizontal from a down or an up stall. It's totally doable, but it's not real practical for flowers that we're talking about. What would happen if we took our crosshair atom, this guy, and rotated it so it was vertical versus vertical? Well, we have perpendicular planes, we have atomic flowers, and we have the ability to break. Everything's the same. So that little teaser is going to be our foot in the door to vertical versus vertical atoms. We're going to examine the what the overlap, the crossovers with the crosshair atom, crossover crosshair, and the tilted down into vertical vertical. Vertical vertical starts the next little bit of the series.